welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to talk more about the North Node and specifically what it means to have other planets in the same sign as your North Node. Because not only is the North Node highly valuable and important, I consider it to be one of the top 3 most important aspects and planets to know in your chart, but the other planets that reside in the same sign as your North Node give you massive indication into what your growth journey is and can also make your North Node way easier to embrace or way harder. So in this video, I'm going to dive into each of the planets and points and asteroids that can be in the same sign as your North Node and what that means for your growth journey. And really quick, I wanted to interrupt my intro, and before I dive into the North Node with the planets, make sure you hit the link in the description below to book a reading with me, where in 1 hour we dive deep into your unique birth chart as well as your unique personality combination, including your Enneagram, your Myers-Briggs, your numerology, and more. So book in the link in the description below. And as of now, I am running a discount 50% off on these readings. Use the code, all caps, SUMMER24. That is SUMMER24 in the link in the description below. Get 50% off. This ends on Sunday, so book now. So if your North Node and your Sun are in the same sign, there is a huge journey for you around embodying your vital energy. You are probably, in a way, someone who finds it hard to muster up energy, whether that's to do things, to be courageous, to take action. You're probably generally lethargic, or you even feel that to stand firmly in your sense of self is very hard. This is especially true if your North Node is in your first house. But the Sun represents our ego, our core energy, our vitality. So while it can be our ego defenses, it also just kind of shows us what our core value energy is, what we think helps us live a good life. So for example, if it was me, if my North Node was in Aries along with my Sun in Aries, it would be harder for me to embrace my Sun sign generally because I'm not naturally familiar with that. And at the same time, if your North Node and Sun are in the same sign, you may feel like you get tastes of what your North Node is, but to embrace the highest vibration of that zodiac sign feels extremely hard. So whatever sign it's in, you may be able to embrace in a way the negative traits or the egoistic traits of your North Node fairly easily, but to be your higher vibration, to be in your highest self, to just charge yourself up and surrender your ego is extremely hard probably. You probably feel like every time you try to reach towards your North Node, you end up being either egotistical or beliefs come up and you feel very insecure deep down, and it's hard for you to supercharge yourself. So your journey is all about charging yourself up and giving yourself that vital energy. You're learning how to step into your confidence, step into your power, be more energetic, and surrender your ego. You probably have to do a lot of work around your ego. Okay, I feel like I'm already talking too fast and there's a lot to cover, but I'm gonna try to slow down. So, if your North Node is in the same sign as your moon, you probably feel similar to the Sun sign that you naturally get a taste of your North Node, but not in the right way. Generally, any planet in the same sign as your North Node implies that you kind of are familiar already with your North Node energy instead of it being totally unfamiliar, but you probably embrace the negative aspects of the zodiac sign rather than the positive or the highest vibration, because every single zodiac sign has a negative and positive expression or levels of consciousness, so to say. For example, an Aries could be very headstrong, blunt, and aggressive, someone you don't want to be around. But in the positive, they can be an independent, authoritative leader who inspires others by leading the way. So if you have a planet generally with your North Node, this implies a journey around, you know the energy, but you're here to up-level it, to learn the positive sides of it. You probably have negative relationships with this energy, whether it's through a parent figure or societal figure, whatever it is, you're here to up-level this energy and use it in the positive to your benefit. So back to the point. If you have your moon and your North Node in the same sign, your growth is to embody your emotions more, which is a kind of a no-brainer. If you have your moon in your north node, you probably feel like, I kind of know my emotions, but to regulate my emotions is really hard. And this is especially true if your north node is in a water sign. If your north node is in Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, emotions are probably something that are very volatile for you. But at the same time, you feel like you can't embrace the positive sides of it. You probably feel like you're very susceptible to your emotions, and you don't even get to feel the positive side of emotions, so to say. But generally, if your north node is in the same sign as your moon, you're probably familiar with your north node, and you feel like you know your emotions generally, but there's something you don't put a lot of effort into, given the fact that it seems that the more you focus on it, the more complicated or stressful it becomes. And so you're here to learn how to regulate your emotions, embody your emotions, and use your emotions to inspire others, to lead a better life, and to manifest more. Generally, there's a gift for you. The more you embrace your emotions, the more you learn to understand your emotions, the more you learn to regulate your emotions. The moon north node placement in the same sign really is a powerful one, because the north node in general is a point on the moon's orbit that we have labeled as part of our chart. And so when the north node and moon are in the same sign, there's this accentuation, because it is in a very key point of the moon's journey, so to say. And so when these two are together, it really does signify how important the north node is going to be for you in your lifetime. In a way, if you have your moon and the north node in the same sign, you probably feel like your north node is much more important in your chart. While I do think the north node is one of the most important parts of our chart, I think this is especially true for those with a moon and north node in the same sign. Because for some people, this may play out more as, this is just what I need to grow and evolve. And for some people, this feels like they're here to make a huge shift in their life. They see life as much more of a grandiose thing rather than just self-development. If your north node and Mercury are in the same sign, you are here to step into your voice. You probably have a very blocked throat chakra. You feel like you may be able to know clearly what you want to say, but you cannot get yourself to speak it, and especially speak it in the way you know you want to. I was just talking to a client recently who actually didn't have their north node in the same sign as their Mercury, but it gave a good indication into how she her story gives a good indication into what it kind of means to have your north node in the same sign. If your north node is in the same sign as your Mercury, you are here to learn to own your voice. And you probably have issues with a blocked throat chakra, frankly, or you at least feel like you know your thoughts, but to speak your thoughts is very different, and you can't quite express yourself the way you want to. And on top of it, if your Mercury is retrograde, this is going to be even harder for you. But for example, my brother has this placement, and he is someone who very much knows his voice, knows what he wants to say, but struggles to own it, especially because his Mercury is in Leo with his north node. And so for him, he has to learn how to speak the authority and confidence he deep down feels. So if you have your north node in the same sign as your Mercury, you probably feel like there's this inner voice you want to embrace, either leadership or assertion or more gentle of a voice, but to speak in that way feels very challenging for you. It feels very uncomfortable. You also probably have a huge journey around writing or speaking. You may be a public speaker or a writer of some kind. I was also doing another reading with a client recently whose journey really was that their purpose was about becoming a writer, becoming a speaker, whether that's through blogging or through a podcast, it doesn't matter. You are here to speak your voice. You're here to not only just speak, but speak in the way you're supposed to or meant to based off of the sign it's in. Oftentimes, I think those who have a Mercury and North Node in the same sign often don't embrace their Mercury and instead have a very different way naturally of expressing themselves. So they're going counterintuitive to their chart. They probably are overcompensating somewhere else and they try to not speak in the way that they want to. They feel like their voice is invaluable. They feel like they're not supposed to speak a certain way, and to step out of that comfort zone and embrace that is hard, but it's what you're here to do. If your if your North Node and Venus are in the same sign, and especially if you're a woman, you are here to learn to embrace your feminine energy. And still, if you are a man, know that everyone has feminine and masculine energy. Masculine energy is action. Feminine energy is receptivity. Masculine energy is very linear and assertive, or action-oriented, and feminine energy is receiving, non-linear, makes greater jumps, more creative. So if your Venus and your North Node are in the same sign, you probably feel like you are overly dominant in your masculine energy. And this is especially true if for some reason your South Node and your Mars are in the same sign. But for you to allow yourself to receive, to do less, is extremely challenging. I know, because I have this placement myself, and learning how to receive is extremely hard. For you, in a simple sense, it could be that with a North Node and Venus in the same sign, you are very non-feminine. In a sense, people would probably describe you as very masculine in either appearance or in action, but it also could simply mean that you just do not allow yourself to trust. Venus energy is all about receiving, allowing yourself to enjoy life, not having to do stuff that is just practical, but also for the sake of enjoyment. You're here to learn how to love life more. It's also a journey potentially around allowing people in, learning to love more. This is especially true if your North Node's in your 5th, or if your North Node and Venus are in your 5th or 7th house. You're here to let love in through a relationship, but not necessarily always the case. Yes, there's a focus on love life, but it's also just love for life. So you're probably here to learn how to develop more rose-tinted glasses towards life. Let yourself see life more beautifully. And whatever sign your North Node and Venus are in shows you what helps you live a valuable life. But do things for the sake of enjoyment more. Do things for the sake of love more. Be more of a lover than a fighter. These are all the themes that come up if you have a North Node and Venus in the same sign. Again, this can be a focus on learning to let love in through romance, but not necessarily true always. A romantic relationship is someone's highest path to growth, primarily if they have a 7th house North Node, but not necessarily implied if you have a Venus and North Node in the same sign. If your North Node and Mars are in the same sign, your path to growth is to take action. And if you are a man with this placement, you really need to learn your masculine energy. You probably had a negative relationship with a father figure or masculine figure in your life, or societal masculinity, authority in your life, and now you feel like masculine energy is bad. And so you're here to relearn this energy and redefine what masculinity and leadership means to you. You probably tend to, similar to the Sun and North Node placement, be lethargic. You feel like it's hard for you to take action. Specifically though, take action in alignment with yourself. You probably do things for other people, are very passive, but you cannot allow yourself to be an authority in your life. You may go on autopilot and let other people lead life for you, maybe even your romantic partner. If your North Node is in and Mars are in the same sign and in your 1st house, this is huge. You probably let the women or partners in your life lead your life for you, and this is not your growth. Your growth is to be the leader of your life and learn how to take action. For those who have more strong placements, such as, Mars in Aries and North Node in Aries, you really do have to be very stereotypically masculine and strong and leader and assertive. But for those who have it maybe softer, like a Pisces Mars and North Node, you're learning how to lead gently. This is about leadership. This is about masculine energy. This is about owning your strengths, owning your talents. Not only is Mars our masculine, general masculine energy and ability to take action, but it shows us what we're good at. It shows us how we like to act in the world, how we can best use our talents, what those talents tend to be. So if your Mars and North Node are in the same sign, take action. Simple as that. Don't think about it any longer. You need to do things. This is all about your solar plexus chakra for you. Take action in alignment with your desires, with what you want to be, who you want to be, what you want to do, what kind of legacy you want to live. Take action. If your Jupiter and North Node are in the same sign, you probably think that hard work is the only way to get anything in life. And in a way, if your Jupiter and North Node are in the same sign, you really have to learn the law of attraction, which if you're not already into, I highly recommend diving deeper into. I personally love listening to Abraham Hicks' channel for that, but you may not understand the idea enough. She kind of has already the general concept of law of attraction in place, and doesn't go further back into it, I guess. But I like her, or you can read, The Secret. There's so many places to learn. But you have to basically understand the law of attraction more. You think that everything is material, everything is tangible. You must work harder to earn more. And in a way, you may avoid spiritual growth because not only is Jupiter the planet of abundance, but it is general expansion. And it understands that your material reality expands, your financial container, your love life, this all expands in as much as you evolve yourself spiritually. Spiritual expansion equals material expansion. And so whatever you are vibrating at is what you will receive. It is truly the idea of being a magnetic attractor. And so if your North Node and Jupiter are in the same sign, you have to learn how to expand yourself more, evolve yourself more, learn to develop yourself, grow. And if you're simply listening to this video, you're on the path. But the more you elevate your vibration, the more you're going to receive. And you are here to see how much you can expand. You are here to prove to people, look, the possibilities are endless. You can always receive more. You can always expand more. Jupiter does not stop expanding. It is the idea that our universe is forever expanding. So you are here to tap into that energy, and you tap into that based off of whatever sign your Jupiter is in. So you have to keep expanding. And this is especially true if you have your South Node and Saturn in the same sign. You definitely think that the world is just material, and you have to really look into the idea of we are energetic beings, we are vibrational beings, and this could be a very hard concept for you to embrace. On the other hand, if you have your North Node and Saturn in the same sign, you probably are what we call a spiritual bypasser to some degree, or someone who looks for other people to parent them rather than reparenting themselves. Saturn is said to be our inner parent. It is the god of time. It is the responsible one. Whereas Jupiter is expansion, Saturn is contraction. It is the idea that we must have some sort of restraint in order to live life. And so if your North Node and Saturn are in the same sign, you really have to reparent yourself and cultivate a sense of restriction or discipline more so in your life. You probably are someone who finds it hard to stay on a task, stay focused, stay dedicated to yourself even. And so you're here to learn how to be more responsible, but not in the sense that you may think where you have to let go of your dreams, but responsible towards your highest self. Think of it as a muscle, and whereas Jupiter stretches the muscle, Saturn strengthens. And so you're here to strengthen your spirit, strengthen your sense of self, strengthen your dedication to yourself by always doing what's in alignment with your highest self. Now, granted, I will make a personal note that I feel personally that Saturn does not serve much purpose in life, but that's also because I don't have a strong Saturn placement. I personally feel like I need more Jupiter in my life, and Saturn often makes me criticize myself. But that's also probably because I haven't worked through a lot of my Saturn energy and learned how to reparent that side of myself, and instead of being critical, I need to be nurturing. So your Saturn really does imply with your North Node that you are here to focus on the positive sides of Saturn, which is reparenting yourself, nurturing yourself, staying in alignment with your highest good, and strengthening your dedication to yourself, strengthening your discipline. So making sure that Saturn energy with your North Node does not play out as hyper criticism or telling yourself you shouldn't, couldn't, wouldn't, can't have what you want is something to be aware of. And that is probably something you will have to be though aware of and heal, and then shift the energy to be positive, because Saturn tries to restrict, and instead we have to use it as a positive limitation that makes it so that we can develop more rather than something that limits us. If your North Node and Pluto are in the same sign, from my experience with a lot of people who come to me with this placement, you are here to heal. You are here to heal your family trauma. You're here to heal massive wounds, going deep into your family's wounds and generational traumas, and then healing it in others is your journey. And whatever sign it's in can kind of indicate what those traumas are. But I actually work with so many clients who have this, and they are massively focused on healing their wounds, seeing the wounds that their family caused, and then helping other families heal. This is especially true if your Pluto and North Node are in your 4th house. But overall, you are here to heal traumas and heal wounds and redefine yourself in order to help others heal themselves as well. Pluto is also not just general healing, but it is destruction. And so you may feel like you have to completely redefine yourself, completely redefine some area of your life in order to embody that. So there could be, it does not, a lot of people feel like they have their North Node in Pluto in the same sign, and they expect some sort of, I'm trying to think of a word that will not accidentally trigger YouTube's censorship, but basically there could be some sort of ending. Like I said, this could be a rebirth or a natural cause ending. People often are worried that something is going to die in their life, or someone or themselves, and this is not the case. This is not, it's about spiritual rebirth. So this is karmic healing, letting go maybe of past lives if that's something you believe in, but I simply see Pluto and North Node in the same sign as you are here to heal the traumatic wounds in your generational line. You realize that not only do you have traumas in your life, but you have traumas passed down through your genes, through your DNA, and you're here to end that cycle. If your North Node and Lilith are in the same sign, specifically I mean Black Moon Lilith, you are here to heal your relationship with shame. And you're going to feel like every time you try to grow, that the universe, or the world actually, not the universe, the world pushes back on you, tells you shouldn't be like that. Maybe even your psyche tells you shouldn't be like that. But you are here to embrace your divine power that is with Lilith. Lilith is the planet of shame and power. It is what we feel we're going to be rejected by using. So you're here to heal your relationship with rejection, overcome your fear of rejection, embody your true self, heal your wounds, heal your shame, embrace your power, and by doing so, you're going to help others heal this as well. I made that one slightly shorter just simply because it is that simple in a sense. Let me know if you want a longer interpretation on this and I'll make another video, but I feel like this video is getting long. So Black Moon Lilith and North Node in the same sign imply healing shame. And again, the Black Moon Lilith is an aspect, I believe in astrology, it is a part of the moon. It's the darkest side of the moon, said to be. So again, this is accentuates the North Node, since the North Node is a point on the moon's path, in my interpretation. If your Chiron and North Node are in the same sign, you are here to help other people, really. I think this is a huge focus for those with Chiron and North Node in the same sign, because Chiron is the wounded healer. It's what we give to other people and heal in other people, but don't heal in ourselves. But with that said, you do have to heal your own wound. We're all supposed to heal our Chiron, and so if your North Node and Chiron are in the same sign, your wound probably feels accentuated and extremely challenging to heal, but by healing it, you can really help the world massively heal this wound. So, for example, if your Chiron and North Node were in Gemini, and then you're here to help other people heal their wound around, I shouldn't be curious, I shouldn't be social, I shouldn't be I shouldn't learn, learning gets you in trouble, so to say, curiosity kills the cat, so to say. You're here to heal that, and heal that in yourself too. You probably feel like it's extremely hard to allow yourself to be curious, to be social, to be open-minded, to learn new things, to seek out novel experiences. And you're here to heal that in other people. Let me know what planets and points I missed. What planet or point is your North Node conjunct? Let me know in the comments below, and if I missed it, I will make a video about it. Hopefully this gave you guys some insight into what it means to have each of the planets and points next to or in the same sign as your North Node, because really, I think this is one of the most important things to know, not only for your just birth chart astrology and developing yourself, but also to know when any planet currently is transiting your North Node sign, because having other planets there really does accentuate the energy, and it tells us what we should focus on, and it's huge for our self-development journey and even just for enjoying our life. So let me know if this video was insightful for you in the comments below. I know there's a lot of information, and I really try not to talk fast, but there's so much to say all the time. I feel like I can never make enough videos, so I'll just have to keep doing my best and trying to slow down in how I speak in the future. And if you want to learn more about your North Node, if I missed a planet or point, if I missed out on information, if you want to know what it means to have your specific North Node and planet in a certain sign and in a certain house, then book a reading in the link in the description below. Again, I'm running a 50% discount on my readings. This is probably the only time I will ever do this, so use the code SUMMER24, SUMMER24, in the link in the description below to get 50% off your reading now. This offering ends on Sunday, I believe the 9th, so book now. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I sincerely hope you enjoyed. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Stay tuned for more videos. Namaste.